We are live. Let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Welcome back to another live and amplified Indie Fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we're back at it again with another amazing podcast. Today, we have a very special guest joining us. We have Julia Lyons. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Oh, it's going pretty good. It's starting to warm up finally here in Texas, so I'm enjoying it, you know?
No, I feel you. I know California right now, it's getting a little warmer. We had like a whole season of rain a couple weeks ago, like storms and thunder, and now it's like bright and sunny. I don't know what happened. It's
Right.
good.
It's like a stark contrast, right? Where it was like you had all those wildfires in Southern California, and then you got hit with all the rain, and
Yes.
now you're kind of going back to where it's like, this is why people like living in California.
Exactly. I know. I really can't complain. I mean, except for the wildfires. That's
Yeah.
I can't complain about. But the weather is so bipolar. It's either like really, really sunny, or then it like overnight it gets cloudy and dark and then stormy. And I'm like, what happened? And then the next day it's 80 degrees, and I'm like, okay.
Right.
I mean, I'm not complaining, but that was random.
Right. Recently here, we've been dealing with dust storms, which is
Holy cow.
sounds like the most Western thing you could possibly say.
Oh my
but
God.
For whatever reason this year, the dust storms have been kicking up really bad. So
Right. I knew something like that existed, but like in like movies. I've never experienced one in California. Maybe that's a good thing, but that's crazy.
after we get off of this, I'll send you a video that I took a while back, and it's insane. So, so you're in California, born and raised there, or?
Yep. Born and raised. Whole time.
Awesome. And how'd you kind of get introduced to music? Was that something your family brought you into, or did you kind of find that on your own?
It was really interesting. My parents were always very like, they never wanted to pressure me in anything. So if I wanted to pursue something, it would have been my choice, and they would have totally backed me up on that. But my whole entire life, I was raised with my parents' influence of like classic rock, country, 70s. My mom's huge Stevie Nicks fan. Like my dad was into Journey and all that stuff, but they also love the classic 90s country. Big fans of that. And then when I turned 15, 16, I always could sing, and I loved singing, but that was when I made the decision, I actually want to do this with my life. And I think I can do this with my life. And I picked up guitar within like weeks, and then I started writing songs, and it just kind of exploded from there. And it's been a wild ride, but that's kind of how it started.
Right. That's cool. Your dad sounds like my best friend.
Oh yeah, probably.
It's just like, man, that's kind of what I grew up listening to. It's like not that was like the in thing, but that's just like what all my friends listen to. So it's like, okay, we're going to the 80s. So
Exactly. That's how my parents are. They've had such, I mean, bless their heart, that they cannot sing or they can't play any instruments, but they have excellent music taste. And they just figured out that I had this drive for music and singing. So they're like, oh, well, you can do this, but we have our taste and our like knowledge in the classics. They're like, you know what? We're just going to support you through that. And then I discovered, the style of country music, and I was raised with that. So it just worked out perfectly.
Nice. I love it. So when did you kind of start writing your own music?
15, 16, I would say. I studied a lot of poetry when I was younger, and like the classics and rhyming, and then music just kind of clicked with me. And then I started writing out songs, and then I figured out that I really enjoyed it, and it was kind of therapeutic, almost like people journal. I songwrite, and I just get it all out, and then it becomes a song, and then I end up sharing it with everybody. So I end up reading my journal out to everybody, that kind of thing. But it kind of turned in from something into that. So that's kind of how it started.
That's fair. And you'd mentioned that you're in school now. So how are you kind of balancing everything? Like, obviously school takes a lot of time and attention, but so does music. So are you having trouble balancing that, or have you found like a pretty good thing that works for you?
I found a pretty good system. It's a little challenging sometimes, especially with finals and all that stuff, but it's the weekdays, Monday through Thursday. You do all your school, you finish it. And if you have to, then you finish it after the gigs, but then the weekends is all gigs, like Friday through Sunday, just you're booked. And then if you have time after your gig, go home and finish your paper. Like that's what I do.
Right.
It's
What do
fun.
you study in school?
So I'm studying data analysis and project managing in business. Um,
Nice.
I'm studying for my bachelor's, which is super random, but my parents are business workers. So like that's their whole thing. So it
Mhm.
makes sense, but I always good to have a backup plan. And I'm using the business classes to apply that to my marketing and strategy as in a singer. So it's working both ways.
Nice. That's always kind of the thing because like I mean, I grew up in a household where my parents wanted me to go to college and they like really enticed me. And the one thing I wish I would have done was taken some classes that would have been versatile across the board where like taking a business class or a marketing class or whatever would have probably been a smarter choice than taking, oh, I like history, so I'm going to go learn about the history of whatever.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you too. But I do enjoy history, so I feel you. But it does help with like my brain and thinking. And I basically ran my own business since I was 16 while playing gigs and booking and all that and marketing myself. Like it's an interesting how I was like had that business mind. And now that I'm taking classes, I'm just re-amplifying all that I know and just applying it. And it really is working for my benefit. So I'm really glad I did take those classes because it definitely does help for sure.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. Do you find well, you said you're already noticing that it helps like with your music and whatnot.
Yes.
Um how's actually let's jump in. I was gonna go one direction. I was like, you know what? No, let's not do that.
Okay.
So you are you applying like stuff that you're learning in class towards your upcoming release that you have coming out, or is it? Do you feel like you're taking more of what you've learned in the music industry and applying it to class to kind of help you get through class and what you're studying?
Kind of both, actually. I feel like there's like the professional side and then there's the do it yourself you learn from scratch. I was doing it from the learn from scratch point of view. And now that I'm taking like the classes, I'm like, oh, there's maybe a more business minded way of applying things to my life. And now that I'm doing it, it's like an accumulation of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not disregarding one thing or disregarding the other. I'm actually combining it together and just like, okay, now that I have all this information, I'm just going to use it and keep going. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Hey, so you'd mentioned your kind of balance is like during the week, you focus on class, but then on weekends you play shows. Are you playing primarily in California, or are you getting out and going other places?
Primarily California. I do have a couple shows lined up this year in other places. Still got to set those dates for sure, but I'm trying to branch out more because I have a band. So I definitely want to get a bus and start just going all over the place because that is like the dream to just be able to travel and also sing. Like I would just absolutely love that. But so far it is just California right now. And sometimes, yeah.
Nice, that's cool. So your 2 days coming up in 2 days. You got the release of your new single here. What's running through your mind right now? Like where you kind of at mentally on this whole process?
I'm kind of nervous. I don't know. I've been telling my mom, I'm like, Mom, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I've released songs before. She's like, Julia, you're fine. Like this is like you've done this before, but it's always anxious because you write something and you promote it and nobody really hears the full thing yet. And then when you actually release it, you're just like, oh my gosh, like this is actually out. Like what I created is now officially out for the whole entire world to see. And then there's the nitpicking and then there's like the perfectionism, but then there's the fact that, oh, I should be really proud because I wrote a song. Now people are going to listen to it. So that's kind of what's going through my head. And of course, when the song's out, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's just another song. But right now I'm a little like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't normally get this nervous before release?
It's been every single release. It's just because it's like my baby. Like I worked so hard for this one and I put so much love and emotion into this song because the song's about my hometown and it's really special to me. Like the other ones were very special to me because they all have different meanings. I have 3 out currently. But this is my 4th. And because it's about my hometown, I got a lot of my hometown people involved and just a lot of people are cheering me on and rooting for me. And I'm like, there's a little bit of pressure, but also like excitement to know that I have my town backing me up on this one.
Mm-hmm. What's the name of the song?
It's called Trail of Embers.
Nice. And how long have you been working on it?
I wrote it about 6 months ago, actually. And then we recorded it no, I take that back. About 8 months ago. Then we
Okay.
recorded it in August. And then we've been working on it and then figuring out promotion and all that stuff. So it's kind of a long process to get to this, but it's definitely worth it.
For sure. Is it, I'm taking it you record in California, or will you go out to like Nashville to record?
I go to Nashville.
Nice.
Yeah. I like that sound better personally.
Fair. How often are you going out to Nashville nowadays?
4 to 5 times a year I try. Like I try. It's a little bit difficult because my schedule is so crazy here. Like California and all the plans that I have of like performing, like I have book shows. I'd be doing the same thing I would in Nashville, but just in California. So it's hard to break away, but when I do, I get a lot of stuff done in Nashville. I make it like a whole thing.
Right. That's always the struggle, isn't it? Especially when you don't get to go to Nashville that often.
Yes.
And it's like, I've only got a limited time here. So if I'm going to go, we've got to go, just like balls to the wall and just kind of make every moment of it.
Exactly.
That's how it is every time I go, and I'll bring a buddy with me, and it's like, dude, this isn't going to be a fun trip. Like we're not going to the Ryman. We're not going downtown.
No.
We're here to work, and we're going to be up at 7 a.m. every morning and going to bed at midnight. This trip is going to suck in a lot of ways. So
no, that was the last trip I had in August. I was recording 4 songs. I also had a show at Whiskey Jam. And it was like every day from like 7 to 3, you would record and then you would take a break and then you'd come back and then you'd watch the song like be worked on and then you'd make little edits and then you'd have to do backing vocals. But that was like a span of like a week. And then I had a show and then I had like another thing and it was just like there's no rest. And by the time it was like nighttime, I just zonked out. I was like exhausted. I'm like, I can't do this, but I could do this. And I'm like, oh, this is exhausting, but it's so worth it in the end. Like, cause you put so much work and effort into it, especially if you're recording or, doing work out there. But yeah, no, I definitely resonate with that. It's intense.
Right. I was talking to my buddy yesterday because I was sitting at the office at work and I was like, hey man, work is stressing me out right now. We need to talk about something that's going to get my mind off of work. So we do like a live podcast, right? So we have a version that we'll do in front of like at a venue in front of people, whatever. And I was like, we have one book on June 1st, which is the week of CMA Fest in Nashville, but it's down here in Texas. I was like, hey man, what if we do like a trip to you come out to CMA Fest with me essentially, because we'll do CMA Fest, but he was like, yeah, I'm game. We started talking about it. And I was like, but you realize it's going to be that 8 to 10 grind because we have to be there at 8 a.m. and we're going to do podcasts all the way till 5 p.m. And then I'm going to book us live podcast shows at whatever venue we'll do it. And that's going to be a 7 to 9 gig and that's going to suck. So.
Dang. No, I get that. It's a hustle for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You're working more than, everyone thinks traveling is just like leisure, but no, in Nashville, there's no rest.
No. And now he's rethinking about coming on the trip with me. And I'm like, I get it. Like I'm a psychopath. I 100% get it. So
I feel that definitely.
Yeah. So with this new single getting ready to come out, are you building towards like a bigger project or do you kind of like staying in the singles realm?
That's the thing. I mean, I've been talking with my team about it, and we are discussing, do we want to release an EP with all the songs that we've written? Do we want to go further with possibly an album? Like, I go back and forth because I have literally hundreds of songs that are just cooking right now. So I'm like, what should I do? Because I want to release all this stuff. But right now, so far, I have a couple more singles, and then I'm debating on like an EP or not, because I feel like that'd be a good route to go on, because I have a good collection of sad and up tempo and all that stuff.
Nice. So when you do play shows, I'm guessing since you've got a whole bunch of stuff written, it's all pretty much originals.
Most times I do a lot of covers, especially where I'm at. A lot of people love line dancing. So we do a lot of line dancing songs, but then I play some when there's a quieter moment, when people are listening. I'm like, hey guys, I wrote this song. I'm testing it out on you guys. And then they're like, okay. And then I get their feedback after, and that's what I play. It's really fun. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Is there a lot of like dance halls, or is this like at bars and then they just like the line dance at bars?
There's like a mixture. So there's some dance halls, there's bars, but it's a lot of wineries. We have
Okay.
a lot of those, but a lot of the wineries have like dance floors. So the California people like to dance and party and goof around and stuff. So we get a really fun crowd, and it's a good mixture. But I play a lot of those venues mostly.
Nice. 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 And so just kind of looking forward, you said you're still trying to finalize some of your bigger shows coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm working on it. It's more so like people book so far in advance, and then like you think about it, like, oh my gosh, that's a big one. Nothing I can say yet because we still have to confirm it. But I'm very excited for what's happening this year. It's going to be a really fun, big year. I'm excited.
Nice. I love it. That's always the hard part is trying to, especially when you're booking places that you don't normally book, trying to figure out how far in advance they actually book.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
like in the back of your head, it's like, oh, I'm reaching out 5 months ahead of time. That should be plenty. Oh no, we're booked out all the way through 2026. And it's like, oh,
Yes.
damn. Okay.
Exactly. I have shows that are booked in 2026 and possibly 2027. And I'm like, holy cow. Like, is it really that serious? But it is because, everybody has a schedule, everybody has a life. So me booking out that far in advance is just the norm. And it's crazy. But sometimes I'm like, oh, shoot, maybe I shouldn't book this because another opportunity might come up. And I've had to do that a couple of times. But
Right.
it's crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's like you're gambling on the fact of, okay, 2027, am I going to outgrow this venue but before I even get a chance to play it?
I know. I think that all the time. But
Right.
playing those venues too, it's like a homey feel. I don't know. So
Hmm.
I keep those ones, but for sure.
For sure. Especially being so young, it's like, am I even going to be playing music at that point? Like, just kind of thinking about, because like 2027, I'm 37 and 2027 feels like an eternity away.
Yeah.
It's so.
I know. It's hard to think about. And that's what I remind myself. Never be too planned to let time take over. Like I never want to be too strategic
Hmm.
because that takes away the creativity. And I never want to get to that point. I think that a lot of the way life pans out is like God's plan for sure. And
Hmm.
then I have a lot of like, of course, like my little hopes and dreams here and there, but I can never be too prepared to not let, God intervene or anything. So I have to keep it very like, okay, you can't get too excited because you never know what's going to happen. I don't know who I'm going to be in 2 years. I really
Right.
don't. Because my whole life, it's been like, oh, you're doing this. Oh, now you're doing this. I didn't see music until I was like 16, 15. I was ready
Hmm.
to start going to college full time and be like an accountant or something. So you never know. You never know. But yeah,
When was that light switch moment where you're like, no, music is what I need to be doing?
I entered a competition when I was 16, I believe. It was a competition in my hometown, which then led to a competition to represent California
Hmm.
in Tennessee Pigeon Forge. And I ended up winning in my category. And it kind of opened my eyes of, oh, I could do this. And then when I discovered guitar and my love for it, and then songwriting, which I can't go a day without songwriting now.
Hmm.
Like I cannot think of like how I could live without it. But it just opened my eyes to the fact that hey, I'm good at this. I like this. I actually love it. And this isn't a crazy dream after all. Like I could do this if I really put my mind to it and worked hard enough because it's possible and it's been done before. So
Hmm.
that's kind of when it clicked at 16. So now looking back, I'm like, okay, I made a good choice.
Yes, yeah, for sure. I mean, you definitely got some really good music out now, and I can't wait to hear like stuff coming out in the future. And hopefully, if we ever cross paths in Nashville, or if you happen to come to Texas or whatever, just love to catch a live show. So,
100%. Oh yeah, for sure.
so who are you listening to right now? Who's like really got your ear as far as like musicians that you're kind of vibing with?
Hmm. Right now, I love the classics, and I'm my mom's daughter, so I love Stevie Nicks. I've been really, really just digging her sound. Also, I love Ella Langley right now. She's
Mhm.
amazing. She's so talented, and her writing style just brought something completely different to the music scene. Um, and then I'm a diehard Miranda Lambert fan. So pretty much all her stuff, her newest album, I've been loving. So a lot of that I've been listening to, and then the classics, of course. But, yeah.
That's as you kind of like ebb and flow with your personal music taste, like who you're listening to. Do you find that impacts your writing?
100%, definitely. I have a habit of where I hear a song and then I will write the same thing, different tune, but I'll write the same version of the song. And I'm like, but then I take pieces of other songs and combine it together just because I hear it and I'm like, oh, I like that so much so that I want to have a song like that, and write it myself. So I am inspired by people who are really creative in their writing and styles, who can really portray a picture. And I gravitate towards that. So that's why I love Miranda Lambert, Stevie Nicks, and Ella Langley, because they all paint these beautiful stories. And I'm just like, I want to do that. So
right.
Yeah.
I dig it. That's awesome. So with the new single coming out, everybody, you can check it out. The Spotify link. I don't know why I forgot what Spotify was called there for a second. But the Spotify link will be in the description below. But if anybody wants to check out your socials, upcoming shows, kind of keep up to date with everything, Julia Lyons, where's the best place to find you?
I am Julia Lyons Music on all social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. There's a lot of them. And then, you'll find me playing shows here and there in California. So make sure to check it out.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me. And one thing I want to do here really quick before we wrap this up, what's one piece of advice you would like to pass on to the younger generation of musicians?
I think don't take yourself too seriously. Enjoy the moment while you can, because you're only young for so long. And listen to the people around you, but don't be beaten down by them. Just, stick with your own opinion too, because it's typically your gut is the right choice. So never be too serious and have fun, I would say.
Nice. I love it. I appreciate you for joining us. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all later.